Today I will make an analysis from short story with the title is Peter Pan. So, here we go. First, language. The original language of the story is English, written in a simple and playful style that appeals to children and adults. The story uses many words and phrases that are popular in British culture, such as nursery, darling, and Neverland. The story has been translated into many other languages and adapted into various media, such as film, musical, and comics. Second, plot. The plot follows the adventure of Peter Pan, a boy who never grew up, and his friend, the darling children and the lost boys, in a magical island called Neverland. They encounter many dangers and enemies such as pirates, mermaids, fairies, and Indians. The main conflict is between Peter Pan and Captain Hook, the leader of the pirates, who want to kill Peter and take over Neverland. The story ends with the darling children returning to their home in London, leaving Peter Pan behind in Neverland. Mood. The mood of the story is mostly cheerful and adventurous, as it portrays the joys and wonders of childhood and imagination. The story also has some darker and sadder moments, such as when Peter Pan forgot his past, when Wendy is almost killed by the lost boys, and when the darling children have to leave Neverland and grow up. Setting. The setting of the story is divided into two main locations, London and Neverland. London is the home of the darling family, where the story begins and ends. It is a realistic and ordinary place where the children have to follow rules and routines. Neverland is the home of Peter Pan and the Lost Boys, where the story takes place for the most part. It is a fantastical and extraordinary place where the children can play and have fun. Theme. The theme of the story is a contrast between childhood and adulthood, and the loss of innocence that comes with growing up. The story explores the different aspects of being a child, such as curiosity, freedom, playfulness, and imagination, and also the different aspects of being an adult, such as responsibility, duty, order, and reality. The story also shows the consequence of choosing to remain a child forever, such as loneliness, forgetfulness, and selfishness. This story also shows the benefit of choosing to grow up, such as love, family, and memory. Point of view. The point of view of the story is third-person omniscient, meaning that the narrator knows everything about the character and the event and can switch them between different perspectives and locations. Narrator. The narrator often talks to the reader directly and sometimes comment on the action of the character. The narrator also has a humorous and ironic tone, and sometimes expresses his own opinion. Conflict. The main conflict is between Peter Pan and Captain Hook, the leader of the pirates who want to kill Peter and take over Neverland. The conflict also represents the contrast between childhood and adulthood, and the loss of innocence that comes with growing up. Peter Pan is the eternal boy who refuses to grow up and live in a fantasy world, while Captain Hook is the symbol of adulthood, who is obsessed with order and reality. Character. The main characters are Peter Pan, Wendy, John, Michael, Tinkerbell, the Lost Boys, Captain Cook, and the darling parents. Peter Pan is the protagonist, who is brave, generous, and caring. but he's also selfish, forgetful, and lonely. Wendy is the eldest of the darling children, who is kind, motherly, and imaginative. But she is also curious, adventurous, and independent. While John and Michael are Wendy's younger brother, who follow her and Peter to Neverland. And Tinkerbell is Peter's fairy companion, who is loyal, helpful, and protective. But she is also jealous, spiteful, and mischievous. The Lost Boys are Peter's friends, who are orphans who fell out of their baby carriage and end up in Neverland. They are playful, loyal, and obedient, but also naive, reckless, and violent. Captain Hook is the antagonist, who is cunning, cruel, vengeful, but also cowardly, insecure, and pathetic. And the Darling parents are Mr. and Mrs. Darling, who love their children and worry about them, but also have to follow the rules and routines of society. Moral value. The moral value of the story is that childhood is a precious and magical time. But it is also necessary to grow up and face reality. The story shows the importance of imagination, freedom, and fun, but also the value of love, family, and memory. The story also warns against the dangers of staying a child forever, such as losing one's identity, history, and relationship. Rate. The rate of the story is subjective, but I would give it a 4 out of 5 stars. Because it is a classic and timeless tale of adventure, friendship, and the bittersweet patience of time. It is a story that appeals to both children and adults, and has many memorable characters and scenes. I love it. The last message. The message to the next reader is to enjoy the story as a celebration of the innocence and wonder of childhood, but also to reflect on the meaning and consequence of growing up. The story invites the reader to join Peter and the others in their magical adventures, but also to question their choices and actions. The story also encourages the reader to cherish their own childhood memories, but also to embrace their adulthood responsibility. So, that's all from me. Enjoy your reading and see you!